Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again. And if you didn't know, I am a Titan main with a love for sweet business. However, it pains me to admit I might have found my new favorite combination with this exotic auto rifle, and that is the Chromatic Fire exotic armor for the Warlock. And that is absolutely an insane combination that I've been having way too much fun with. It might not be the most meta, but it will be the most fun, I can promise you. So why is this so good now? In the mid-season patch last season, we did get a buff to all auto rifles in PvE, which was nice. And then in the patch beginning in Season of the Deep, we also got a bonus to Sweet Business that every 50 rounds fired, it does get an explosive round. So that is very cool as well. You're going to see explosions kind of everywhere. Then you combine that with the Chromatic Fire, which has the perk Crystalline Transistor. Precision final blows from kinetic weapons create an explosion that deals damage in the element of your subclass and applies elemental effects. The second part of that, the applies elemental effects, that is where the change comes in, because it does apply those new terms that we got for the subclasses. For example, I am running this on my Void Warlock, so I will get weaken effect on the enemies nearby after I create one of these kinetic explosions. So that works out very, very well. The combination has really seen a rise in power, in my opinion, and I just absolutely love this playstyle. And let me go over the rest of the build as well. The weapons don't matter so much. I was using a Glacioclasm and a Hothead just because I wanted to use those for damage, and I was just enjoying using them. I did have Repulsor Brace in case I needed it on my Glacioclasm as well, just in case I needed to avoid Overshield on top of constantly proccing Devour, but it really wasn't necessary. That was just something I was running for fun. And one of the things to keep in mind is you want to use your special and your heavy pretty consistently, and you want more like one-shot type of things. So for example, like the rockets work out really well, same thing with grenade launchers, because you can use some of your ammo. And one of the things with the Sweet Business that a lot of people forget is that in the intrinsic trait Payday, picking up special or heavy ammo immediately reloads this weapon. So that works out very nicely, but you want to make sure you have room to pick up that ammo. So that's going to kind of replace the acting war rig, which we can just hold down and spray all the time. Now you can actually get your ammo back pretty consistently, but you have to be aware of getting that ammo as you need it. As far as the subclass goes and what I was rocking, I am using Cataclysm Nova Bomb. In the gameplay, I was using Healing Rift just because I wasn't sure how this build was going to perform, but with Devour procced almost all the time, you can definitely and should definitely rock the Empowering Rift. That is going to be a much better option to do heavier damage with your Sweet Business. Now, I've also got Pocket Singularity. You could use that's the only melee for the Void subclass that you got. And then as far as the grenades, you can pick whichever one is your favorite. I personally still use Vortex grenades because I love them. But jumping right over to the aspects, we have Child of the Old Gods. This thing is very good. Again, cast your Rift. You're going to weaken enemies. You're going to do a bunch of damage. You're going to create an explosion with the Sweet Business. You're going to weaken more enemies and rinse and repeat. It is a blast. Make sure you have that Rift down so you can do that enhanced damage and then just go to town. We've also got Feed the Void. This is going to be what's going to be mainly proccing Devour all the time by defeating a target with a Void ability. And yeah, once you have Devour procced, final blows restore health and extend Devour, and you're just kind of constantly creating those final blows. As far as my fragments, I've got Starvation. So when I pick up a Void Breach or Orb of Power, it grants Devour. Again, Devour all the time. I'm creating insane amounts of Void Breaches and Orbs of Power, so I should have that 100% of the time pretty much. And then Echo of Harvest, defeating weakened targets creates Orb of Power and a Void Breach. Again, just constantly in cycle there. I'm creating the Orbs of Power and Void Breaches. I'm getting Devour because of that. It's absolutely insane. Again, Echo of Undermining, my Void Grenades weaken targets. You see the theme here? Synergy is my name of the game right now. And then finally, we've got Echo of Expulsion Void. Ability Final Blows cause targets to explode. I love explosions. All of my things that I'm using in this build, from the grenades, the melee, the Sweet Business, the Chromatic Fire, everything is just creating explosions everywhere, and it's just very satisfying to me. Now, jumping over into my mods, I do have a Void Siphon, a Heavy Ammo Finder, Kinetic Siphon. Then I've got Void Loader, Kinetic Loader, as well as heavy-handed. Kinetic loader, if you end up missing out on ammo and are not able to reload your Sweet Business automatically, reloading it can be a bit of a pain, so that's why I have that on. And then moving on down, I have the damage resist for whatever content you're taking on. Keep that in mind. You can rock whatever ones you want, depending on what you are running. I also will swap out, like if will have like something like Loosened Blade if I switch out my Hothead for a sword, but I can also just add another ammo resist or unflinching harmonic aim or something of that nature. So it really doesn't matter what you're rocking here. It just kind of depends on what you are comfortable with. So moving on down, we've got kinetic weapon surge and then another weapon surge matching whatever heavy weapon you have there, as well as absolution. And then finally we've got distribution, time dilation, and bomber. But wait, there's more. We haven't even talked about the artifact perks here that again synergize very, very well. You obviously will have something like authorized mod for Void, as well as melee. I like to have that just in case. I don't really use the melee a lot. You could also do a Technicolor Siphon if you wanted to run a strand heavy weapon or something like that. But it really doesn't pair well, so you're going to probably want to do melee instead. Don't forget also anti-barrier auto rifle this season and using Sweet Business to take down barrier champions. Absolutely hilarious. I would highly recommend it. You could also throw on, if you needed it, a trace rifle or a glaive in your secondary spot if you needed that for champions as well. Moving on into the perks that really matter, we have Unto the Breach. Defeating a void debuff target creates a void breach while your void subclass is equipped. I create so many void breaches, it's not even fair. It's kind of wild to watch. Then we've also got Protective Breach. Picking up a Void Breach gives you an overshield or refreshes your existing overshield. You see why I don't really need Repulsor Brace or a Healing Rift or anything like that? The only time I die, and you'll see it at the end of this video, is when I blow myself up with a rocket trying to kill the boss. But other than that, it's almost impossible to get yourself killed. And then finally, we got Supernova. Picking up a Void Breach causes your next source of void damage to create a large weakening pulse. Weakening more enemies. Who would have thunk it? It's just a nice big weakening combination there that works out so very well. And then you can also add on squad goals if you want. Performing a finisher while you have Devour. Grants Devour to nearby allies with your Void subclass equipped. Again, that is going to be very nice because you're going to pretty much always have Devour. And then you'll give your allies Devour as well. So it's just kind of a nice friendly fire team thing to do. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. I really enjoyed it. I've absolutely loved running this build. And it's been a ton of fun to use for sure. My name is Jopa. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. I'm throwing up loads of builds and fun little combinations that people might not have thought about on this channel. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.